Hey! Again, sporadic. The term is going to be sporadic going forward. There's going to be feast and famine and sometimes just a few casual here and there. Because life. So, this isn't my job. This isn't my income. This isn't my whatever. This is my hobby. And I really do love my hobby. I'm going to start this with a very, very quick tangent. Shocking. I mentioned the other day, I went off on a bit of a rant about people who don't like my political views, and that's fine. And don't like that I insulted their leaders, and that's fine. I don't normally couch my words about my lack of appreciation for certain leaders that are currently, whatever, doesn't matter. They're not watching these videos, so their feelings aren't hurt. But other people who watch these videos who happen to think these leaders are the next coming of Christ think I'm wrong, and they take their ball and go home, and that's perfectly acceptable. I'm not begging you to be here. I am going to be here, and if you think that my political views impact your appreciation of this channel, then have a nice life. There are other people, and I've talked about this repeatedly over basically my entire adult life, even pre-internet. This hobby, as you can see behind me, this what I think is quite a wonderful hobby, is a kid's toy, and why is an adult who is soon to be 60-ish still playing with a kid's toy. And to that, I don't think about it actually at all until somebody posts something or says something, because it doesn't even hit my radar that there are people out there who are disparaging other people for their choice of hobbies. You've heard me rant about it before if you've been watching this channel long enough. I'm not saying this because I will not disparage other hobbies out there. I know that for my, I grew up in a family that was very extremely, besides me, who is a klutz, and I have no problem that I was a geek, who is extremely sports and athletically oriented. And I was a rink rat growing up. I hung around a lot of hockey rinks when I was in my single digits. Not for me, but for literally all my cousins and my brother who played hockey and skated and whatever. And I loved it. I absolutely loved seeing my friends there, my family there, playing hockey or whatever else, having a good time. I've been to my cousins' basketball games. And stuff like that. So I grew up in a very athletic family, and I enjoyed it. Not myself playing, because I can't play sports. I played soccer in high school, that's it. I was in grade 12 and I decided to try out for the soccer team, and I could run. so I was defense. So 1 year in high school, I played an athletic event, and I was actually on a roster. Yay, team roster, yeah, go me. But I just, because, again, this is the community I grew up in. Like, the school, the entire school, literally the entire school knew who I was. On the student council, I did the morning announcements. I was quite out there in the school spirit and blah, blah, blah. And I did not make any kind of, and the naysayers and the bullies, I didn't care about, and I still really don't care about. But the teachers, overall, liked my efforts that I put into these things. And the phys ed coach, who played for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, was quote unquote a friend of mine. He was our phys ed coach. And we got along fantastically well. And I did his timing and scorekeeping for all the basketball teams, and kept all the scores and all the stats. And he asked me, Dave, do you want to try out for the soccer team? I said, absolutely, sure. And so me, as ultra geek, hanging out in the computer lab every night after school, played soccer for a season, and so there was never any. I won't say never. There was not a overall a disparagement of an ultra geek like myself. Now there were certain people, students in the school who, for just textbook 101 reasons, in any intro to psychology course, who did not have the self-esteem, shall we say, the courage of self-confidence that would gravitate, shall we say, towards those that they considered to be less than. And so I was I won't say punching bag because nobody ever punched me. Because I was quite a beacon of school spirit and, loquaciousness and microphones and stuff, like doing announcements, that there was one or two students throughout my entire high school career that I would pass them in the hallway and there'd be disparaging comments sent my way. I knew then, without taking Psych 101, that they had a low self-esteem. I don't know what was going on in their house, but I can infer stuff, and yes, I'm going to infer stuff, that they were not getting the nurturing and or whatever Dr. Spock crap that they should have had, and they were just lashing out at whatever. So it never bothered me deep down that there was a few students that would disparage my efforts and or anybody, and they would it wasn't like Revenge of the Nerds. It wasn't like those movies, the high school movies where the geeks got singled out and beat up and or stuffed into a closet or a locker. That never happened in my school. There was enough people who did at least appreciate what we were doing, that the naysayers and the ne'er-do-wells were kept to a dull roar in the background, so I never had a problem. Somebody showed up in my feed last week and asked, basically, because again, they deleted their post afterwards. So what kind of backbone do they have? They were just what we call ring and run, cowards. And that's all it is. It's just pure cowardice on their part, like 100%. In my opinion, and I could write a book about it, the cowardice, just like the jackass neighbors next door, the pure cowardice of throwing shit at people and then running away, just calling out names, just being whatever, malcontents, and then not having the courage of your convictions by staying and basically justifying your point. And their point, from what I can remember, was that why is this almost 60-year-old playing with Lego? Why am I putting any effort into a kid's toy? And I'm going, there are books out there. There are books out there in the world well, let's look at the circle of friends that I have. They're mechanical engineers. They have the ring on their finger, whatever finger it is. There's rocket scientists, there's doctors, there's lawyers, there's heads of whatever. I've met so many people in my life in this hobby that are just the best people on the planet, the intelligent people on the planet, people with PhDs and BSCs and blah, blah, blahs, and just stupid smart. My friend here is wicked smart. Sorry, I'm going to watch Good Will Hunting again because I just love that line. My friend here is wicked smart. Just smart, wonderful, decent, kind, beautiful individuals. And yet they play with Lego. They play with Lego. Now, again, I think I was in my 20s when I stopped saying, I'm playing with Lego tonight. I'm creating something. This is my hobby. It's not playing with, although it is fundamentally playing with Lego. I'm creating with Lego. I'm using all aspects of my imagination and my mathematics and my physics and my engineering and my programming for the robots that I used to win every competition that half of them. I don't want my ego to be too big, but anyway, it's over there. Out of, I think, 12 competitions, I run 6. Anyway, and I would enter robots with PhDs. I would enter robot competitions with mechanical engineers, guys who build robots for a living to this day. And I would enter competitions with them with robots that I built, and we would chat and we would have fun, and the camaraderie and the kind and decency of my fellow fans out there has thus far been unmatched. And so somebody doing a drive-by yippage, really? You don't think I've heard this before? You don't think after 60 years of playing with Lego, I haven't heard this crap before? It makes for a good video today that I can share with my friends. It's just, I shake my head. I just have to say, what low self-esteem do you have to do a drive-by on this page of whatever videos that I got out there, and depreciate? You don't have to appreciate. Nobody has to. If you don't like this, move on. I keep on saying. This is the part that frustrates me. I keep on saying this. The effort that it took to post that was more effort than you deserve. Not for me, because I don't care. But why if you didn't like it, if you think it's like not conducive for a 60-year-old to play with Lego, then move on. Why do you have to stop and say something? It's like you put effort. So again, disparaging me and saying that I'm putting too much emotional context into this. You're the one that stopped here. You're the one that It's like I'm cutting my grass or I'm building my house or whatever I'm doing because I've done all that stuff. And you roll down the window and you yell, "Hey, doofus, you're doing your child stuff," and then squealing the tires and moving on. It's like you put the effort into this. I'm still standing here. And I'm going to be standing here tomorrow. And I'm going to be standing here a year from now, and a month from now, and 10 years from now. I'm going to be standing here doing what I do until the end of time. Like, it hasn't changed in 60 years. So your little drive-by and the fact that you squealed the tires and peeled out of here and deleted your post. You didn't even leave it standing for all the world to see. Because fundamentally, the fact that you deleted it, fundamentally, you know that you're an idiot. You know you had absolutely no justification. You had absolutely no wherefore. You had absolutely no courage of your own convictions. And it's just, wow. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. That specific note. But it was a perfectly textbook example of what I'm starting to realize again, Sorkin was a genius. Limited intellect and limitless ego. That's all that you showed me. That's it. Limited intellect and limitless ego. And it's just like, and I'm seeing this a lot more, not just in my own little world, but across the board. The rise of the malcontents into mainstream. I mean, I've been insulted before in my whole life, but it seems to be more prevalent now that the malcontents who were always eschewed or shunned into the corner, swept not necessarily into the rug, but over there. You malcontents just stay outside the city gates with your weeping and gnashing of teeth. You go knock yourself out over there. Now they feel emboldened because of the doofus in the States. Now they feel emboldened that they can come into regular society and start spewing their shit at everybody. And anything they have a problem with, they just blah, 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 they throw up on the society, and they expect us to take it. Well, again, you didn't even leave the comment up. You deleted it. You ran away. That's fine. Anyway, that's just a quick little thing. I'm going to stop at 13 minutes. I don't want to say be bemused by it now, but I am, and I'm not. I'm tired of it because again, I've heard this literally my entire life, my entire adulthood anyway. I'll tell you something. My earliest memories are playing with Lego. My earliest memories. And for my personal life, for almost 60 years now, so 57, 58 years of playing with Lego-ish, whatever. My personal life, I've never, ever once had a bad experience with the people in my world, in my Lego world. Whether it's virtual or in the physical world, going to robot competitions and Lego conventions and doing shows. I mentioned this before. We used to do the hobby show like a lot, and even when I did the open doors down there at the Hamilton Steam Museum, which is still one of my favorite places to go. And the mechano guys were there, and these guys are in their 80s, and they're building mechano, and they show up with their mechano structures. And it's like, why would you disparage their love for their hobby? Or model boat builders. I was at the wood shop, the woodworking show 3 weekends ago, and there's guys there who built from scratch, not kit built, but scratch built, sailing vessels that they go into Burlington. They have a boat builders association there, model boat builders, and they remote control them. And is that playing with toys? No. This is what people want to do with their time when they're not at work and not taking care of the family or do other responsible stuff. This is their downtime. This room is my downtime, and it's not my only hot. And again, I don't have to justify myself to anybody, but it's just, it is not frustrating, because again, it happens so infrequently, and they always run away. So it's like, whatever. I wasn't even going to say anything, but it's just like, content, but beyond content, it was just like yet another data point. And it's just my whole life of data points of the absolute low information and limitless ego of these people who want to drive around disparaging other people for what they love to do with their time, and then just running away. And it's like, whatever. I it's just one more data point, and it's just, after all these years, like, dude, grow up. And I say this knowing what's behind me. This has nothing to do with being a child. I'm going to mention PhDs, rocket scientists. Like, this has nothing to do with being childish. I have, if you ever attended a Lego convention, and I have, the stuff that is talked about and the debated on and blah blah blah, like Lugnet back in the day, I'm gonna say Lugnet again, still the single best thing that ever happened to the Lego community for a decade or two. The stuff that was talked about and appreciated by the world of adult fans. I am an AFOL, adult fan of Lego. And I always will be an AFOL. That, like, these guys are everything. Like, these people that are fans, they're from every walk of life and every stature of life and every sect of life and every, like, it's just astounding. Wow, the sheer enormity of intellect and abilities of people that are fans of the community, fans of the Lego community, and I follow some of them on TikTok, obviously, and these people are awesome, and they'll always be awesome. So anyway, I just find it, I don't know the stats. I really don't know the stats of the background of many Lego fans, but I know that overall, if you were to get the stats of degrees, diplomas, certifications, all that stuff, and compare it to other hobbies, I would think that Lego would be up there in the higher volume of smart, educated people than other hobbies. I'm not saying to be number one. I don't know what the number one hobby that attracts the most academically inclined people on the planet, but I meet a lot of people that are academically inclined in the Lego community. So anyway, and I'm not saying that should be the benchmark either, because there's a lot of artists, like I know personally so many artists who use Lego as one of the mediums they play with and use for their artistic endeavors, and it's there for them. And I've been impressed by their building style and what they built. So it's again, it's art, it's artistic, it's intellectual, it's educational, it's literally it's engineering, it's like architecture. I don't know what else to tell you. I just, like, anybody who wants to do a drive-by disparagement of this hobby, and necessarily me, knock yourself out. If it made you happier for that 1 minute to disparage me, and it brought you some happiness into your otherwise menial existence. Because again, yeah, I guess that's my other point. If you had to take the time out of your day to disparage me, then you have a pretty menial existence in the first place. Because I can think of some things I could not care less about, and I think is what I would have. You're wasting your time on that. But again, I don't go over to their forums or their channels and say, well, and start onto their sheet. No. Like, why would I? Because they're having fun, and why am I stopping their fun? So anyway, yeah, so I was going to be done this 5 minutes ago. So 20 minutes rant for this guy. That's all the time I'm going to give you. You guys have a nice day, and I'll talk to you soon.